Welcome to today's video. If you're trying to learn English faster, remember more vocabulary, and improve your study habits, you're in the right place. Today, we'll explore 10 powerful techniques that top students at Harvard and other top universities use every day. These methods don't require expensive tutors or fancy books. You just need time, focus, and the right strategy. Now, what does it mean to study like a Harvard student? It means using techniques that are backed by science, proven over time, and trusted by some of the brightest minds in the world. But don't worry, I'll explain everything in simple English, with examples. And by the end of this video, you'll not only understand these techniques but also know how to apply them to your English learning journey. Also, you'll hear some interesting words and phrases along the way, and I'll explain what they mean, so you improve your vocabulary too. Let's dive into it. Technique 1: Active Recall. One of the most effective techniques Harvard students use is called active recall. But what exactly does that mean? Let's break it down. To recall something means to bring it back from memory, to remember it without any hints. When we say active recall, it means you're not just hoping to remember, you're actively trying to pull the information out of your brain. You're testing yourself. This is very different from what most students do. Many people read their notes or highlight information, thinking that this will help them learn. That's called passive learning. Your brain is receiving information, but it's not really working to remember it. Active recall flips the process. It makes your brain do the hard work, and that's why it works. Here's how to use active recall when studying English. Let's say you read a short text about common English idioms. After reading, don't look at the page again. Close your book or app, and try to remember the idioms and what they mean. Even better, try to write them down from memory or say them out loud in your own words. You can also ask yourself questions like, what were the 3 idioms I just learned? What does spill the beans mean again? Can I use it in a sentence? This active effort to recall the material tells your brain, this information is important. It's like training a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Why it works. Research shows that active recall strengthens your memory faster and helps you remember things for much longer. It makes you more confident and helps you spot what you don't know yet, so you can fix it. Technique 2: Spaced repetition. Now let's talk about a technique that works hand in hand with active recall. It's called spaced repetition. Here's the problem many learners face: they cram. That means they try to learn a lot of information in a short amount of time, usually right before a test or an exam. You might remember some of it for a day, but by the next week? Gone. Spaced repetition is the opposite of cramming. It means reviewing the same information several times over a longer period, with increasing time between each review. Instead of studying something once and forgetting it, you space your reviews to help your brain remember better. Let's look at the words. Spaced means that something is spread out with time in between. Repetition means repeating or doing something again and again. You might review a new English word today, then again tomorrow, then in 3 days, then next week. Each time you remember it, the memory gets stronger. How to do it in practice. Use flashcards. On one side, write the word. On the other side, the meaning and an example sentence. Review your cards daily, but give more time to the words you already know well, and more attention to the ones you forget. There are even smart apps like Anki or Quizlet that use spaced repetition for you. They automatically show you difficult cards more often and easy ones less often. Let's say you're learning the word reluctant, which means not wanting to do something. If you forget it today, the app will show it to you again tomorrow. If you remember it easily, it won't show up again until next week. This is the power of spaced repetition. Why it works. Spaced repetition helps move knowledge from your short-term memory, which forgets quickly, to your long-term memory, where it stays for months or even years. It's one of the best ways to learn vocabulary, grammar rules, or anything else in a new language. Technique 3, the Feynman technique. This next method is named after a brilliant scientist, Richard Feynman, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist known for his simple but powerful ways of explaining complex ideas. His method can completely change the way you learn. It's called the Feynman technique, and it works for anything, including English. Here's how it works, in 3 steps. Step 1. Learn a topic. Start by reading or watching something new. Maybe a grammar rule, a new group of vocabulary words, or an English expression like break the ice. Step 2. Pretend to teach it to a child. Now, explain what you learned, but do it in the simplest way possible, as if you were teaching a child. Why? Because children need easy words and clear ideas. And if you can explain something in simple words, it means you really understand it. You could say it out loud, write it in your notebook, or even make a video. The goal is to make it so easy that anyone could understand it. Step 3. Find the gaps. If you get stuck, if you say, "Wait, I don't know how to explain this part," that's a gap in your knowledge. That's great, because now you know what to review. Go back, study that part again, and try explaining it one more time. This method forces you to think deeply, not just memorize. It also builds your confidence in using English naturally. Let's say you learn the phrase "get cold feet," which means to suddenly feel nervous about doing something. If you can explain it to a younger sibling like this, it means you're scared to do something, like canceling a wedding or quitting a job at the last minute, then you understand it well. Why it works. The Feynman technique helps you deeply understand and truly remember what you're learning. It turns passive learning into active communication. Word focus. Deepen means to make something more complete or advanced. Mastering means becoming very skilled or fully in control of something, much more than just knowing it. So with this method, you're not just studying English. You're mastering it. Technique 4. Interleaving practice. Now let's move to something that may feel a little strange at first but is very powerful, interleaving practice. Most people are used to what's called blocked practice. That means you study one thing for a long time. For example, 1 hour of grammar. Then 1 hour of vocabulary. Then maybe some listening. But interleaving is different. Instead of studying one subject in a block, you mix topics and skills together in one session. Let's say today you want to study English. With interleaving, your study session might look like this. 15 minutes of grammar. 10 minutes of vocabulary. 10 minutes of reading a short story. 15 minutes of speaking out loud or shadowing a video. 10 minutes of writing a summary. By switching between different types of tasks, you're forcing your brain to stay active. You're challenging it to remember, switch gears, and apply what you're learning in different ways. It's like going to the gym and doing a full-body workout instead of just training your arms. You become stronger in all areas: grammar, speaking, listening, writing, and vocabulary. Why it works. Interleaving improves your problem-solving ability. It helps you connect different ideas and apply them in real situations. Just like real conversations where grammar, vocabulary, and listening all happen at the same time. For example, when you practice vocabulary alone, you may remember the word delay. But when you mix it with reading or writing, you might learn how it's used in a sentence like, "The train was delayed due to bad weather." That's where learning becomes real. Word focus. Interleaving means mixing or weaving things together. Flexible means being able to adapt easily to different situations or changes. A flexible learner can jump from listening to speaking or reading to writing without stress. So don't just focus on one skill today, mix it up. That's how you become a well-rounded English learner. Technique 5. Set clear goals. Have you ever sat down to study and thought, "What should I do today?" Then an hour later, you realize you've just watched random videos or looked at 5 pages of a grammar book, but learned nothing deeply? That's the problem when you study without a clear goal. Top students, especially at elite schools like Harvard, don't just study. They plan with purpose. They know exactly what they want to achieve in each study session. This is called goal setting, and it's one of the most powerful study habits you can develop. Let's look at an example of a clear, focused goal. Today, I will learn 10 new phrasal verbs and write 2 example sentences for each. This is better than saying, "I'll study phrasal verbs," because it gives you a number and a clear task. Why it works. Setting goals gives your brain direction and motivation. It helps you stay focused, track your progress, and feel satisfied when you finish. Think of it like a road map. If you know where you're going, it's easier to get there. As an English learner, your goals can be small but specific. I will read 1 news article and highlight 5 new words. I will watch a TED Talk and summarize it in 5 sentences. I will practice pronunciation of 20 words with the theta sound. Over time, these small actions lead to big improvement. Word focus. Phrasal verbs equals verbs made of 2 or more words, often a verb plus a preposition. Examples: give up, stop trying, look after, take care of, get by, survive or manage. They are common but tricky because the meaning can change completely from the original verb. So remember, before you study, ask yourself, what exactly do I want to achieve today? That one question can transform your English journey. Technique 6. The Pomodoro Method. Now let's talk about one of the most popular time management techniques in the world, the Pomodoro technique. This method was created by Francesco Cirillo, an Italian student who used a tomato-shaped kitchen timer to organize his study time. Pomodoro actually means tomato in Italian. But don't worry, you don't need a tomato timer to use this method today. Here's how it works, step by step. Choose a task to work on, for example, learning new vocabulary. Set a timer for 25 minutes. This is called one Pomodoro session. Focus and work only on that task, no distractions, no multitasking. When the timer rings, take a short 5-minute break. After 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break, maybe 15 to 30 minutes. This method trains your brain to focus in short bursts. It also gives your brain time to rest and recharge, so you don't feel exhausted. Why it works. Many students think they should study for hours without stopping. But the human brain can't stay focused that long. After about 25 to 30 minutes, your concentration starts to drop. You lose focus, make more mistakes, and start daydreaming. Pomodoro keeps your brain fresh, energized, and productive. It's also great for building study discipline. When the timer is on, you commit to focusing. When it rings, you reward yourself with a break. Word focus. Burnout equals a state of mental or physical exhaustion from doing too much work for too long. Recharge equals to rest so your brain and body can get energy again, like charging a phone battery. Try this today. Set a 25-minute timer. Study grammar, vocabulary, or listening, just one thing. Then rest for 5 minutes, walk, stretch, or drink some water. Do this 4 times, and take a longer break. It's simple, effective, and used by students and professionals all over the world, including at Harvard. Technique 7. Teach what you learn. One of the most powerful, and surprisingly fun, ways to improve your English is this: teach what you learn. There's a saying, when you teach, you learn twice. And it's true. Teaching helps you review, remember, and organize information in your mind. It forces you to really understand what you've studied, not just recognize it, but use it confidently. This idea is similar to the Feynman technique, but there's one big difference. Now you're sharing your knowledge with a real person. That could be a friend who's also learning English. A family member, like your brother or sister. Or even your phone. You can record a video or pretend you're giving a lesson. Here's how you can do it in practice. Let's say you learned 5 new idioms today. Instead of just writing them down, say this: today I'll teach you 5 idioms I just learned. Let's start with break the ice. It means to start a conversation in a friendly way, especially with someone you don't know well. Now use it in a sentence. I broke the ice by asking her where she was from. Why it works. Teaching makes you organize your thoughts. It helps you notice what you don't fully understand. If you can't explain a word clearly, it's a sign you need to study it more. And if you teach regularly, even just for 5 minutes, you build confidence in speaking English. You learn how to explain ideas clearly and naturally, which is essential for real conversations. Word focus. Idiom equals a phrase or expression where the meaning is different from the meaning of each word. For example, hit the books doesn't mean you physically hit books, it means to start studying hard. So, next time you learn something, teach it. Even if no one's listening, your brain is. And that's what matters most. Technique 8. Stay curious. If there's one quality that sets Harvard students apart, it's curiosity. They don't learn just to pass exams. They ask questions, explore ideas, and dive deeper. They want to understand the world and enjoy the process. As an English learner, staying curious is one of your greatest strengths. It turns boring study sessions into adventures. Let's say you're reading an article and come across a new word, notwithstanding. Instead of skipping it, you stop. You ask yourself, what does this word mean? Where does it come from? Can I find it in another sentence? Maybe you Google it or check your dictionary app. You learn that notwithstanding means despite or in spite of something. Example: notwithstanding the heavy rain, the match continued. Equals even though it was raining, the game didn't stop. Why it works. When you're curious, you're emotionally connected to the learning. You're not just memorizing facts, you're exploring a language. And that emotional connection makes the information stick in your brain much longer. You also start learning words in real context, not just isolated lists. That helps you understand how native speakers actually use English. Word focus. Curiosity equals the strong desire to know or learn something. Chore equals a routine task, often boring or repetitive, like washing dishes or cleaning your room. Some learners treat English like a chore, something they have to do. But when you stay curious, it becomes something you want to do. So next time you're reading or watching something in English and you don't understand a part, don't scroll past it. Pause. Dig. Explore. Your curiosity is your greatest teacher. Technique 9. Learn with context. One of the biggest mistakes English learners make is trying to memorize individual words like flashcards, without knowing how those words are actually used. This leads to confusion, frustration, and sometimes even forgetting everything the next day. But top learners, including students at Harvard, know the secret: learn with context. So what is context? Context means the words or situation around a word that help you understand its meaning. It's like the background in a picture. If you only look at one object, like a word, you miss the bigger story. But if you look at the whole scene, the sentence, the story, the tone, everything becomes clear. Let's say you see the word consequence. That word might sound confusing if you just see it alone. But look at it in a sentence. If you don't study, the consequence is failing your test. Now it makes sense, right? A consequence is the result of something, often something negative that happens because of an action. When you learn words in sentences, or better yet, in real conversations or short stories, you not only understand their meanings, you understand how and when to use them. Here's a tip. Whenever you learn a new word, try to write down a full sentence that includes the word, the situation it might be used in, a sentence from your own life using the word. For example, learning the word hesitate. She hesitated before answering the question. It means she paused, probably because she wasn't sure what to say. Now create your own. I hesitated before ordering because I didn't know what the dish was. Why it works. Learning with context makes English more natural, memorable, and real. It's exactly how native speakers learn, by hearing and seeing words in real-life situations, not by memorizing definitions. So don't just collect words. Connect them to real life. That's how you build a language that lives and breathes. Technique 10. Reflect and review. Our final technique is something simple but incredibly powerful, and often forgotten. It's called reflection. After each study session, don't just close your notebook and walk away. Pause. Sit quietly for a few moments and ask yourself 3 simple questions. What did I learn today? What was difficult or confusing? What should I review tomorrow? This process is called reflecting, which means to think deeply or carefully about something. It's not just about remembering what you studied. It's about analyzing your learning. What worked? What didn't? Where are you improving? Where are you still struggling? Here's what a short reflection might look like. Today I learned how to use phrasal verbs with get, like get over and get by. I found get across a bit confusing, so I'll review that tomorrow. I also realized I need more listening practice. Writing down your reflection in a study journal can be very helpful. It keeps your thoughts organized, and over time, you'll see your own growth. You'll see that the things that were hard last month are now easy. Why it works. Reflecting helps you identify problems early, before they become habits. It also makes your learning feel more intentional and focused. You're not just doing random exercises, you're tracking your progress and building awareness of how your brain works. This is what high-level learners do, not just study harder, but study smarter. Word focus. Reflect equals to think carefully and deeply. Stay on track equals to continue moving in the right direction, without getting lost or distracted. So before you end your next English session, take just 2 minutes. Reflect. Review. Adjust. It may seem small, but it could be the most important part of your day. Conclusion. Now you have 10 powerful tools to study like a top student, like someone at Harvard. These techniques aren't magic. They require effort and consistency. But if you use even 2 or 3 of them, your English will improve faster than ever. Let's quickly repeat them. Active recall. Spaced repetition. Feynman technique. Interleaving practice. Clear goals. Pomodoro method. Teach others. Stay curious. Learn with context. Reflect and review. Try one of them today. Just one. Maybe you'll start using active recall, test yourself instead of rereading. Or you'll teach what you learned to a friend. Remember, learning English is not a race. It's a journey. And with these tools, you'll enjoy the journey more and see results faster. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with other English learners. And tell us in the comments, which technique will you try first? Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.